there, true believers, and welcome back to the latest episode of the Video Diary. I'm Henry Higgins, and the week just gone was the last week for the Fat Burner, Bespoke Workout Red Hot Core combination. It went well. Being in isolation still is proving a bit of an issue, but the exercises themselves went well. I'm very happy with them, happy how things have turned out, and we are going to be looking at changing it up over the next couple of weeks. I'll talk about that a little later in the video. But this week, doing the Red Hot Core, the Fat Burner, sorry. I did mention in the last video that it was proving a bit more challenging than I expected. Partly, obviously, because I'd done stand-up for so long and done any of the floor stuff. That was a mistake in hindsight. But this week, it was still tough. Fat Burner is a tough burst. So getting through it was pretty good. I still love broken table and broken table crunches. They're one of my favourite exercises. DR rows, I enjoy as well. So there is stuff in there that is really good. But that has gone well this week. I still don't know what I weigh. The scales are still not working, so I still can't get batteries for them. But I feel good. I look like this. But I feel good and things are improving. The lockdown in the UK could be easing soon. They have eased it a little bit as it relates to exercise, so I will be going for more walks. It's a really beautiful place where I live here in Carnarvon. There's a 1,000-year-old castle just over the way. It's a beautiful waterfront, so it's nice to go a walk around there, which I used to do a lot just to calm myself before going to bed, just to wind my mind down. So we're going to be getting into that a bit more now that leaving the house for exercise has been relaxed a little. We're also hoping that the rules will relax more and more as we go forward. Not to jeopardise safety, obviously, but relax the rules as it relates to stores being open, work, people working in the offices and such like. I'm still working from home at the moment. It's the new normal. I enjoy working from home. It does have benefits. One of the ideas that I put to management is that when we go back to normal, when we go back to the office, is that we do a rotation thing where my team is in, for example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week coming, and one of my colleagues' teams is in Tuesday, Thursday, and then the week after that we're reversed, and so my team's only in the office Tuesday, Thursday, and his team's in Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Still working 5 days, but we're only in the office for half the time. This will allow social distancing. It will save on commuting travel costs still. So there's a lot of benefits there. So that's something that I've put forward, so I'm interested to see if that gets picked up in any fashion. But work's going well. It's a tough time for everyone, but we're persevering, we're getting through it. And it looks like we're coming out of the worst of it, and things hopefully will improve. Home life, Josh was here this weekend again, and we switched tack. We've moved on from Arnie-centric movies now, and we will go back to them. There's still a few to go back to, but this week we watched Die Hard. It's the first time he's heard so much about it, about how it's the best Christmas movie ever, how great it is as a film. And I was explaining to him when we were getting ready to watch it and going through the menus to get it working, that it was so successful as a movie that future action movies elevator pitches basically became Die Hard Enna or Onna. So Die Hard became shorthand for this type of action movie where it's a lone everyman type character against the bad guys. An elevator pitch, if you're not aware of the term, is tell me your story in the time it takes us to go up and down the elevator. Can you succinctly get your plot across in the time it takes to complete an elevator ride? I mean, you're not actually in an elevator. I'm assuming back in the older days you were, but it's still classed as called an elevator pitch. So, saying like speed, for example, with shorthand would be Die Hard on a bus, Die Hard on a plane, executive decision, that kind of thing. So it became the shorthand for that type of thing. And Josh absolutely loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed it again. It's been a while since I've seen it. But I thoroughly enjoyed that again. Picking up some things like cast members, specifically one of the henchmen for Hans Gruber's team is the guy who played Vigo the Carpathian in Ghostbusters 2, whose name escapes me now and I would probably butcher the pronunciation. But yeah, so he's one of the henchmen and it's a fantastic movie. So we're now going to go through the Die Hards. Die Hard 2, 3, 4, 5. I've explained to him that objectively and generally Die Hard is the best one. They do get progressively varying in quality. For me, Die Hard and Die Hard with a Vengeance are on par with how good they are. And Die Hard 2 is just under them. I really like Die Hard 2. 4 and 5 are okay. But what Josh said to me was, that, well, I said the same thing about the Terminator movies, that 1 and 2 you could put a reasonable argument for being the best, and then they go decreasing in quality. Now I've enjoyed all the Terminator movies as well, but Josh going into them without the baggage of nostalgia did not agree with my assessment and the general assessment of what are the best movies. So he's going into these with an open mind, which I'm really proud of that he's doing such a thing. So we'll let you know how we're getting on with those. Personally, again, if you've been watching the last few videos, you will have seen that I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I have now completed the main story. I've got a few of the campaigns for some of the side characters to complete, which I'm almost done. I had a look at the trophy list as well, because I'm going for the Platinum. There's like 5 trophies left. None of them seem to be any really great difficulty to obtain. There's 2 campaign quests to complete. As I say, one of them I'm doing just now. And there's like the Cult of Cosmos, are the overarching bad guys. I still need to find some of them. And I believe there's one underwater location I haven't found yet. So that will get me the Platinum. So there's not much left to do in that game. So then it's a case of what do I go to next? And one of the biggest mistakes I've always made is going from an Assassin's Creed game to another third-person open world adventure game. And that's always frustrating, because if you've played an Assassin's Creed game, you know you basically can climb everything. There's virtually there's invisible walls, but they do it in such a way, because it's supposed to be a simulation, or it is a simulation, it hasn't built that. It just works perfectly. But if you go from an Assassin's Creed game where you can literally climb up every building and over every wall and over every mountain, and then you go to a third-person game where you can't, so you get frustrated. So looking down the list of games that I've got down here, I may go to Injustice 2, one-on-one beat 'em up. So that in itself, that'll be completely different. So once I've done that, I can then go back to, again, looking down on the list, I've got Just Cause 4, and I have Shadow of War, which are third-person games as well. So I'll do them. But yeah, I'm almost finished Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so should get that done I'll definitely get it done by the end of next week, by the time we're doing the next video. If I get time, I might even finish it today, who knows. Going forward with the DDP Yoga, Those of you who watched last week's video will know that I spoke about maybe doing my own version of mixtape, and I believe that's what I'm going to be doing. So for those who aren't aware, mixtape on the actual set is basically pick an exercise from this one, an exercise from this one, an exercise from this one, and it mixes it up. It's a mixtape. So I'm going to be doing my own, and so there'll be like some exercises from Energy, there'll be some exercises from Fat Burner, and all the other programs as well. But I'm going to focus on ones that I believe will help improve me the most, my conditioning, weight loss, everything else, but also moves that I can do. And when I say that, it's not moves that I will I'm not eliminating moves that I will eventually be able to do with more practice and everything else. Long-term viewers of the channel may know that I had, when I was growing up, I had a condition called Perthes disease, which is a condition that when you're forming, when you're born and you grow up, your body's still kind of putting itself together, and necrosis happens in the hip joints. Now, it affected me on both hip joints, but the right one the worst. And what essentially happens is when the ball joint of the hip is forming, the blood flow ceases for reasons. And when the blood flow ceases, the bone does not form properly. Eventually, the dead bone, and then it starts to form again, but it's not had the time to fully form. So instead of it being a pure ball and socket joint, it's a more rough-edged, abrasive. So what that means is physically I cannot put my body in certain positions, no matter how hard I try, no matter how much I want to. Like at the moment I'm sat down, and when being sat down I physically cannot put my knees together. Like if I push like this, they will go to a certain point and it really starts to hurt now, but I physically cannot put them together. And that the motion of my hips means that certain moves in the DDP Yoga pantheon are physically impossible, regardless of how hard I try, regardless of how flexible I actually become. They just aren't happening. So I'm going to be cherry picking. I'm going to be doing that at some point today. Cherry picking various exercises that I enjoy doing, that stretch me, no pun intended, and push me. So there'll be a little bit from Energy, Fat Burner, Stand Up, below the belt. There'll be loads of different ones to do. I'll put my own little program together, and when we come back next week, when I do this video, I'll show you the list of what we've got, and hopefully that energizes me a bit more to push through, because like I said, the isolation thing is just, it's really is starting to affect me mentally, which is weird in a way because I live alone. Like I say, Josh lives with his mum, but he's here most weekends. But in general, I live alone, and I rarely go out, but I like to go places, even on my own. I like to go places, but I rarely like go out drinking anymore and things like that. So a lot of the time, I'm isolated anyway. But I think it's like having the option taken away is a big deal, and being stuck, like completely stuck. Because even though, like say, isolated, I was working in an office which is about 20 miles away from here. So there was always that daily journey. I was always going somewhere and coming back home. I wasn't stuck in the house the whole time. And I think it's getting to me a little bit. Josh being here helps. Really grateful for the guy. He's an awesome kid. I couldn't ask for a better son. And see, he's getting into movies with his old man, which is a rite of passage. My dad didn't do it, but my Uncle Mick did it with me. He got me into movies. I did it with his older brother Richard. Like I've spoken about before, and I'm doing it with him now. A couple of years time, when he hits 15, maybe we'll start doing the horrors, get him through them. because again, it's nice to go back and watch like your favourite movies, good movies from your childhood and good movies when you were growing up with fresh eyes, seeing how someone with fresh eyes takes to them. And it's interesting as well because some of the movies we're going to be watching I haven't seen in a very long time, so it's going to be interesting to see how they hold up. Terminator 2 special effects hold up fantastically well. That's a testament to how much time and effort went into the movie. But I digress. We're going to see how this mixtape, Henry Higgins mixtape, goes. Please like, share and subscribe. Have a great day, have a fantastic week, look after yourselves, stay safe, and I'll see you again next week. Goodbye.